Now I just want to do some example problems with you just to help you see what these might look like. So this says to use unit rates to determine if each pair of rates is equivalent. So I'll use a unit rate on a couple of these, but I'll also show you the other methods at the same time. So remember, we have unit rate, we have scale factor, and we have cross multiplying. Okay, so those are our three ways that we can figure out if we have an equivalent ratio or rate. So on this first one, 8 out of 10 boys play a sport. Okay, so 8 out of 10 boys play a sport. 25 out of 30 boys play a sport. 25 out of 30 boys play a sport. Well, we need to figure out if these rates are equivalent. So in order to do that, let's follow the directions. Use unit rates. So let's find the unit rate. Remember, 8 divided by 10. 8 divided by 10. Add a decimal point, take it up. 10 goes into 80 8 times. Minus 80 is 0. So this unit rate is 0.8. Now let's try 25 divided by 30. Add a decimal and a 0. 30 won't go into 2 or 25, but let's see, 250. Well, let's see, 30 times 8. Let's try 8 to see if it's right. 0. And then 8 times 3 is 24. So 8 minus 240 would leave me with 10. Add a 0, bring it down. 30 goes into 100 3 times. Minus 90 is 10. Add a 0, bring it down. As we can see, 0.8 and 0.83 are not the same. So no, this does not form an equivalent ratio. Okay, number 2. $16 for 2 tickets, $40 for 5 tickets. So let's do dollars over tickets. So $16 for 2 tickets and $40 for 5 tickets. Okay, well, if we use unit rate on this one, 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 40 divided by 5 is 8. So because these are the same, yes, they do. Okay, number 3. 3 teachers for 63 students, 7 teachers for 147 students. So let's do teachers for students to make sure we set these up the correct way. So there's 3 teachers for 63 students and 7 teachers for 147 students. Again, it's very important that you make sure you put your numbers in the right spot. So if we said teachers over students, then the number of teachers needs to go over the number of students for each ratio. All right, well, we've used unit rate on the first 2. Let's look for scale factor. Is there a pretty number I can multiply 3 by to get 7? No, there's not. So maybe let's try the cross multiplying method, our butterfly. So 63 times 7, 1, carry your 2. It's 42, that's 441. Okay, oops, sorry. Now let's do 147 times 3. 1, carry my 2. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14, and 3 times 1 plus 1 is 4. So this is also 441. So because those are the same number, yes, this forms equivalent ratios. Number 4, 15 minutes to read 9 pages. So I'm going to do minutes over pages. 15 minutes and 9 pages. So 15 over 9. And then 50 minutes, minutes goes on top, to read 30 pages. 30 goes on bottom. Well, let's look for scale factor again. Is there a pretty number that I could multiply 15 by to get 50 or 9 by to get 30? No. We could use the unit rate and divide 15 divided by 9, 50 divided by 30. We can do that. Or we can cross multiply. So let's try that one. 9 times 50 is 450. 15 times 30. 0, 0, 5, 1, 450. So because these both equal 450, yes, these are equivalent ratios. Number 5, Lucita earned $85 for 8 hours of babysitting. So $85 for 8 hours of babysitting. Avery earned $125 for 11 hours of babysitting. Are these rates equivalent? So let's set it up. Dollars over hours. So $85 over 8 hours and $125 for 11 hours. Well, I don't see a pretty scale factor that I could multiply by to get 85 to 125, or 8 times no pretty number is 11. So let's cross multiply. 125 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20, and 8 times 1 plus 2 is 10. So this would be 1,000. And then 85 times 11. Well, 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 8 is 8. Add your 0. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 8 is 8. Got 5, 3, 9. This one's 935. 935 and 1,000 is not the same number, so no, these are not equivalent. Number 6, Miss Ferguson recorded 17 absences in her class during the first 30 days of school. During the last 60 days of school, she recorded 42 absences. Are the rates equivalent? So 17 absences in 30 days. So let's do absences, over days. Okay, so 17 absences, absences goes on top, 30 days, days goes on bottom. Okay, 42 during the last 60 days, so 60 days, days is on bottom. She recorded 42 absences, absences is on top. So be careful here, make sure you set these up the right way. Just because they say this number first does not mean it goes on top. So make sure you set up your rates and ratios equivalent, like to where the absences and the days are in the right spot. That's why I like to write this word ratio, because it helps me make sure that it's 17 absences and 42 absences, so I'm making sure I'm putting my numbers in the right spot. Now, I know that 30 times 2 is 60. Is 17 times 2 42? Nope, that's 34. So because I cannot multiply both the top and the bottom by the same number, these are not equivalent. All right, so those are just some examples on how to find equivalent rates and ratios. You can use the unit rate, like we did up here, scale factor, like we did on this one, or cross multiplying, like we did on 3, 4, and 5. All right, whatever way works best for you.